Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. The most important news today is the return of DG ISPR after 2 years of mysterious disappearance. Yes, you heard it right. After 2 years and 2 months, DG ISPR himself mysteriously disappeared from Twitter, now called X, but today he made a sudden return and the public gave him a welcoming reception like never before. The reception was so grand that it is beyond comparison. You might have seen the public reaction to the recent leaked video of Captain Imran, and the response was similar, but what happened today was a few steps beyond that. So, what happened? How did it happen? Why did it happen? We need to discuss that. Additionally, today Mariam Nawaz did something in Pakistan, which neither the people there, nor the doctors, nor the public, and probably not even the PMLN itself had ever imagined. So there are some other important news to talk about too. But first, let's talk about DG ISPR's return to Twitter, or rather his return to X, like Tarzan making a comeback. First, let's give you some background. A few weeks before May 9th, DG ISPR had shut down his Twitter account. The reason for this was that the government had been overthrown and the public anger and frustration had been building since then. After May 25, 2022, when the sanctity of homes and private spaces was violated, people were attacked and workers were martyred, the public anger grew even more. The tweets DG ISPR had been posting were met with such public backlash that it forced him to step back, and Twitter was shut down. The phrase fleeing might sound harsh, but he had to leave Twitter. It was known that they were about to carry out May 9th operations, and therefore Twitter was shut down beforehand to avoid a bigger backlash. Why? Because Twitter is one of the most powerful social media platforms, and many politically aware users engage in political discourse there. If you look at the demographics, the users on Twitter tend to be more educated and politically aware, which makes it difficult to manipulate the public. On the other hand, other platforms like Facebook and Instagram were still being used to post, but DG ISPR and Chaudhry Nizamuddin avoided Twitter because of the critical audience. Why did they fear Twitter the most? Because, as I mentioned, Twitter users are politically aware, and they can hold you accountable and turn your narrative upside down. For example, YouTube can sometimes block content from being shown in Pakistan through VPNs, but Twitter is more direct in its consequences. So DG ISPR had to shut down his account and Twitter while also blocking access to the platform in Pakistan. Remember, it was declared illegal to use Twitter in Pakistan. But then how did the Prime Minister and other government officials continue tweeting? The answer was simple. They were using VPNs. The real reason DG ISPR stayed away from Twitter is because of the backlash he faced there. Despite efforts to suppress the platform, he had to face public criticism, so after a 2-year hiatus, he returned. Interestingly, his first tweet after 2 years came today, but with one significant difference. He disabled comments on the tweet. This shows that they are well aware of what the public thinks of them. But Twitter has given the public a powerful tool. Now, community notes. If someone posts false propaganda or misinformation, the community can flag it and people can rate these claims. Interestingly, DG ISPR's tweet has received an unprecedented number of community notes, exposing the lies and propaganda behind it. Now, the important point here is that after the recent conflicts, the public mood had shifted. People had not forgotten the past events, and with the release of Captain Imran's video, the public once again reminded the authorities of the injustice, betrayal and crimes they had committed. The public has not forgiven them, and the government's overconfidence is now starting to show cracks. The public reminded them that they still remember everything, especially from November 26, and the narrative that was pushed to justify their actions has been shattered. So the return of DG ISPR is not without consequence, as the public is no longer as easily manipulated as before. Despite their attempts to shift the blame and manipulate public perception, the people are paying attention to their misdeeds. Even though there has been a lot of noise and propaganda, the people are still aware, and this is the real litmus test. Furthermore, even though there is a lot of effort to push the narrative of external threats, including blaming India for everything, the people of Pakistan are starting to see through it. After all, the public has not forgotten the past or the truth behind the political and military decisions that led to Pakistan's current situation. DG ISPR's return, although celebrated by some, is a reminder that the public is more politically aware than ever before. The overconfidence shown by the authorities has been challenged, and the public will continue to hold them accountable for their past actions. For the first time, after 2 years and 2 months, the temperature is the same right now and more will be done. I will tell you, and now the policy is this. It seems that so far there is overconfidence that the opinion of the public about us has improved. The public has been somewhat forgotten. And now we will penetrate and stop the comments. And gradually, we will open the comments again. I am telling you this in advance because the strategy has been made that it is better to tweet than to run away. Initially, people will criticize. Then, after criticizing, they will get tired and then they will stop criticizing. This is the strategy. This is the thought behind it. The overall policy that has been made is not to go backward now. That is why you must have seen that suddenly songs and tunes by Sahir Ali Baga and others are being released. We are working rapidly on our promotion. We have also taken the rank of Field Marshal. So, everything now is said to show so much confidence. That means speak lies with such confidence that everyone starts believing them as the truth. So now there will be rapid tweets, comments will also be opened, and eventually it will be thought that the public will get tired of criticizing. When they get tired, they will stop criticizing and the image will be created that, look, no one is criticizing us. It means not correcting our course, not understanding the fact that our oath is being broken, that our oath is being dishonored, and this is all being done. We should not stop. We need to continue in the wrong direction. This decision was made from the top, and you saw its manifestation today. However, the public, as I said, has responded strongly to this, and there have been so many community notes on it. Many people have said that all of this is a lie, and I have never seen an example of this on Twitter before. All right, moving on. All right. The next news, well, is also equally big. Mariam Nawaz, we told you about this at least 2 or 3 days ago. You must remember, I told you in the vlog that Mariam Sahiba has been reprimanded because she was vacationing in Murray. She was actually meeting some businessmen there, giving them contracts and receiving kickbacks. She and her father were sitting there for private meetings. In any case, it was said that she remained in Murray while children in Pakistan had passed away and she did not go there. She was told to leave immediately. On Thursday, this plan was made. I told you on Wednesday. Then there was a tweet too. I will put it in front of you again. After that, on Thursday, it became clear that the preparations could not be made there because it was feared that the parents of the 20 children who had passed away would protest. When this news came out, the intention to go to Pakistan was abandoned. Then, the Deputy Commissioner, Maria Tariq, was made to speak to Mariam Nawaz. Some of our sources are saying that she met her in Lahore, while others are saying that they spoke on the phone and she was told to manage the parents. Now, reporters on the ground are reporting that the Deputy Commissioner, Maria Tariq, who was in Pakistan, had police stationed at the homes of the 20 families whose children had passed away. They were made hostages, threatened, and local politicians were used to warn them not to come in front of Mariam Nawaz or raise slogans or protest. When everything was managed on Thursday night, Maria Tariq, who was the Deputy Commissioner, reported everything as fine, and the police were stationed at those 20 families' homes. Then, Mariam Nawaz was sent to Pakistan early in the morning. You know that she has a history with doctors. I will repeat that she was expelled from King Edward Medical University for failing the exams. She was not capable of passing the first exam, and she was expelled after the first exam. Whatever decision was made by the professors was right, but now this decision is a burden on the coming generations of doctors. Because, as you know, in Pakistan, the more incapable someone is, the higher they are elevated. Now, the Field Marshal thinks Mariam Nawaz is politically good. Politically is the key word here. He thinks she carries herself very well. Because of this, she was given Pakistan's largest province. She has an old grudge against doctors and has a history of being against them. Whenever she goes to a hospital, she lashes out at doctors. Today, she reached Pakistan. As soon as she arrived, she played the political tricks her uncle used to play. She had Dr. Adnan, the MS of the hospital, arrested. His name is Dr. Adnan Ghaffar. They arrested him, and this video you are watching shows him being brought in handcuffed. They also arrested CEO Dr. Sohail and 2 nurses and 1 technician. Now the nurses were also arrested, the technician too, and the CEO and MS as well. Before the arrests, the way they spoke to them, let me play it for you. This whole family gestures a lot with their fingers. I don't know why they gesture so much, maybe because they learned it from Shahbaz Sharif, who used to gesture like this. I often get worried about how much power they put into that finger, and I wonder if the rest of their body is left with any power. They speak in a manner where you can't understand them, and I don't know where they learned it from. Shahbaz Sharif used to do the same thing in Punjab and created an image of a tough administrator. But now he is sitting there like a soaked cat, and here Maryam Nawaz is following the same path. She is even more incapable. She believes that humiliating doctors and nurses will make her famous. If something went wrong, which it did, the hospitals are collapsing. But she wants doctors to perform like those in Switzerland and the USA, while everything else collapses. And now, doctors are being blamed for her failures. After arriving, she spoke about how the pharmacy didn't have medicine. But what is the responsibility of a doctor? She is blaming them for things they don't control. Then she was criticized for not installing air conditioning or doing this or that. The responsibility for these things doesn't lie with the doctors, but with the government and administration. The hospital management should provide proper facilities, but they are being blamed. Now, Maryam Nawaz has closed health cards, which were supposed to help the poor get free medicines. She has shut it down, and now the people are saying that they don't get medicine. But the people who have the power to provide medicine, the ones in charge of the hospitals, they have failed. And now they blame the doctors. This is just a theatrical performance to fool the people into thinking that they are doing something while actually making the doctors scapegoats for their failures. Now, regarding the air conditioners and pharmacy, if there are no ACs or if they're broken, the doctor doesn't fix them. That's not the doctor's responsibility. The government is responsible. But they keep blaming the doctors and humiliating them to create an image that they are working. The real situation is that hospitals are underfunded and there is no proper management. But instead of fixing the issues, they blame doctors to cover their incompetence. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.